Hey y'all, so I came back with a story, revelation, a confirmation, whatever you want to call it. Here it goes. So, lately I haven't been having dreams, but just last night I had a dream, and the dream was basically God telling me that everything happens for you at the right time. And I know I keep preaching the same thing. I know I keep saying the same thing, but it's really because we are not understanding. But I'm going to put it in terms in which you can understand. So in the dream, I can't remember where I was, what I was doing. I just heard a voice, and the voice said, your rejection is your protection. Sometimes things don't happen because it's not supposed to happen at that time, even if it's something that you plan, because the Bible says we make plans, but God makes the choice, the ultimate choice for us. So in a nutshell, to give you a visual understanding, it took me back to 2022, December of 2022. And in December of 2022, I quit my job. But I'm going to fast forward 2 years before December 2022. I was working at the same job, and it was mentally and emotionally draining. There was a lot going on. Can't even say it. But the vid was happening, and I had plans to move down south. I had the money saved. I was in a relationship. I thought everything was just going as it should, right? But I was making things happen on my own accord, right? So I said to my coworkers about at least 5 times, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job. And they were like, oh, you're not leaving us. You're not leaving us. And I'm like, I'm leaving. Now, mind you, again, this was a couple years before I actually did quit. So every time I got ready to quit, make a long story short, every time I got ready to quit, something came up. The relationship went south. The whole idea of moving didn't happen. It was just a lot of, okay, it's just not my time. And back then I was going through a spiritual awakening, so I had a better understanding of God. I was getting closer to God. And your higher power could be a law. It's all a spirit. It's all a higher power. But I started connecting and getting closer to God, having, just going through life and just seeing my life flash through my eyes, and, just seeing a difference and seeing a change in myself from the growth and the development that I was praying that God would give to me, right? So I kept saying I was going to quit, never quit. And then one day, I feel like God just put it on me to have a better understanding. So fast forward to December 2022, the job switched locations, and I talked to one of the higher ups in the company. I was just like, the people at this location can't do what you're asking. Not saying that we should have special privilege, but you have to accommodate your work staff. So they basically gave us a sob story and said, oh, we apologize, but because we're moving on our own accord, we're going to have to do things the way, a company would like to do it. Okay, cool. So I worked in a new location for about a little less than a month. And then on payday, I put in my 2-week notice, right? So I put in my 2-week notice on payday, and 2 weeks from there was payday again. So I was able to quit on payday, and I went in my last day of work to say my goodbyes and everything like that. And I'm telling this story because somebody needs to hear it. I know when people say, especially the older generation, they say, oh, don't quit one job without another. But when you're walking by faith and not walking by sight, it's a whole different direction. It's a whole different avenue. It's a whole different feeling of having a sense of security, and not a sense of security in a job, but a sense of security knowing that God is going to show up and show out for you. And in December of 22, that's exactly what I received. A couple years prior, again, I went into a very dark space, like just working at that job, constantly being sick, being overweight, just dealing with a lot of people's problems, because I am in finances, so working with people's money is working with people's problems. And I absolutely love my job. It was just how we were being treated. I wasn't fond of it. But anyway, I say all that to say is I say all that to say, don't lean on your own understanding. Because when you lean on your own understanding, you're going to be disappointed because you feel like, I should be able to do this. I should be able. But you as a person alone cannot do all things. All things are done through the greater good of your Most High. And with that being said, you really have to set yourself up. No, I didn't just quit my job on a whim. I later came to an understanding that God was putting me in a position to be able to do the things that I asked for, right? Because the thing that we as humans fail to realize is that we can ask God for a specific thing and it can be given to us. But it's all about what we do within that time frame to receive the things that we say we are asking and deserving of. Most of the times we ask for things, it's not because we are deserving. It's because we just feel like we should have. And that's not how God operates in the slightest. You really have to put the work in if you claim you are going for something, not only to benefit you, but to show him that you are there for him as well. And God is within. So when you reach that point where you feel like, God, thank you, is absolutely a great, amazing feeling. Like you start to have a better understanding of life and what your purpose is. And that's all God is asking you to do. It's really not as hard as we make it seem. It really is simple. But like I said, God was preparing me for the things that I was asking for. And not saying that I've reached all the goals that I had, but I reached a few. And I would love to share those with you guys one day, to better help someone who may be in a situation that I was in 2022, wanting to leave a job but not sure. Like I said, God was preparing me. I was able to stay at that job for about 4 years in total, a little over 4 years actually. So that job, they offer a 401k. So I was able to stack up my money from my 401k. I was able to stack my money from my personal, savings, and, knowing and preparing for something bigger than what I was expecting. I got a lot on the back end. I ain't gonna hold you. God was setting me up, but like I was making sure I was setting myself up too. Like I was due for a raise in November and they were a little delayed. So I ended up getting my back pay from my raise. I had PTO unused, so they had to pay me back pay for that. Again, like I said, I quit on payday, so I went home to a fresh pocket of money, I'm saying. And like so many good things happen. And the most important thing I'm going to give to y'all, and I mean this from the pits of my soul, I really, really do. Truly get close to God to have a better understanding of what he would like for you. Most people think just getting close to God is just having this, I can't even explain it, but people think it's like some sort of like joke, and no, it really will transform your life. When I tell you my life has been transformed in many ways that I didn't even expect, okay? Because the reactions that I give out just a few years ago, baby, you would have got something way off the wall. Just the growth I've had over the years, the clarity that I've been given about a lot of situations that was not understood in my eyes, the perspective, everything like that basically changed my life in such a good way. And I want other people, like, I know I'm put on this earth so other people can have a better understanding and know they're not doing it alone. Because when I felt like I was at my lowest, I felt like I was doing it alone. But I understood that God came in, he swooped me and coddled me like a baby and let me know that like everything is going to be all right. You have nothing to worry about. If you want something, you have to work towards it, put yourself in a position, and then allow God to do his miraculous works. Because remember, like I said, it's not just us putting the work in, but it absolutely is God working behind the scenes and making sure that as long as we align ourselves, we can be at that higher place in life in which he called us to be. And that's the message for y'all. Even though you may not be getting what you want in these very moments, know that God is preparing something for you and it's coming exactly when it needs to be. Trust the process. Keep the faith as small as a mustard seed, and continue to push on even when you feel like you want to give up, because normally when you want to give up, that's just the devil trying to shake you up just a little bit more than what you were, because he know what God has in store for you. So I hope that helps somebody. Bye guys, and remember, day by day we're here.